Shalom, this is Gabash Yasharala, and before I hop to today's lesson, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to the Most High in the name of His Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, in the true Pele Hebrew tongue. Ka, Halayim, La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma'amaf. I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders, GMS, Rule 1 and Teach Well. I want to give double honor to my elder as well, Aaron Juan Ban Yasharala of the Lions Den Camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. And I want to say shalom to the Akim four corners of the globe, pushing the truth and sincerity. And with that being said, this lesson is going into the topic of not putting off the work. So, it's pretty clear cut, so we're just going to go ahead and get into it. First precept being Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 5, verse 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance. So we're not supposed to tarry when dealing with the things of Yahweh by Shemiah Shai. If the Lord puts it on your la'ab to do something, whether it be fast, drop a lesson, whatever the case may be, read, watch a video, you got to tend to that ASAP. You can't put that off. Or just in general, man, you ain't been studying, get back to studying, man. That's tarrying, that's lollygagging. We're not the lollygag spiritually. Because we're tending to the things of Yahweh Shemiah Shai. Whether it be the work, just the spirit within. In general, we can't tarry when it comes to serving Yahweh Shemiah Shai. We can't put not off from day to day. Or I'll drop that lesson tomorrow. Or I'll read that chapter tomorrow. Or whatever. Tomorrow not promised. For suddenly shall the wrath of Yahweh come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance. You thinking you got time. We don't have time. The Lord is coming as a thief in the Yahweh Shai returning as a thief in the night, man. We don't know when he returning. For instance, they just did a 2-week ceasefire between Iran and the U.S. That might cause some people to breathe easy. But nah, in your security, thou shalt be destroyed. That really what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on Trump to say peace and safety. Because that's when the destruction gonna come. When they say it's all good. The scripture said that when they say peace, peace, this shall destruction fall upon them. So we can't allow ourselves to be secure in this place, get comfortable here. And that's pretty much it. So we're going to go to Ecclesiastes from here, 12 and 13, which says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For Yahweh shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. So our whole purpose of being here is to serve Yahweh by Shemiah Shai. That's why we're here on earth today, man. That's why we were playing here from the beginning. And in the end, it's going to be made manifest. Everybody not serving Yahweh by Shemiah Shai, keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability, their works are going to be brought into judgment, and they're going to be judged according to the Lord's wrath and indignation. We hope to be judged according to the Lord's grace and mercy. So we're doing the things commanded of us by Yahweh Shemiah Shai, continuing in the work, not slowing up. If anything, we need to be speeding up. We need to be running that 2-minute drill, like in the last 2 minutes of a football game or a basketball game, where every move we make counts more so than, the rest of the game. Because now we're in the times where the Lord about to try the faith of the world. He's starting with his house. The Lord shall bring every work into judgment. We want to be judged according to his grace and mercy again. So we can't be out here putting off the work. We can't we can't allow ourselves to become sluggards. Proverbs 24 and 16. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. So we in this flesh, we not perfect. We gonna get caught up, tied up from time to time, but it's the spirit of Yahweh Shemiah Shai that draws us back in, that gets us refocused on our true calling and our true purpose. So part of our fight of faith is ruling over the flesh. And we're going to fall because of the flesh, but we're to get up. The Lord made these bodies that we're in, these corrupted bodies that we're in. So he knows how we're being tempted, tried, pulled, however you wanna, however you wanna say it. But he wants us to overcome the flesh. And if we can't overcome ourselves, we can't overcome the wiles of the devil for sure. So we gotta trust in Yahweh Bashmiel Shai. We gotta continuously feed that spirit, seeking out the things of the Lord and doing them. Cause you got people when they first come in, they hear the word, they might be in agreement with it, but I'll wait to cut my hair, cut my dreads, I'll wait to stop eating pork, or whatever the case may be. I'll go get one more tattoo. They not in the right mindset. They're trying to kiss this world goodbye. And ultimately, they really don't want to separate from this place. The wicked shall fall into mischief. There's 2/3 of our people. They fell into the mischief of this world. When they fail and haven't gotten up, they won't get up. And so when the Lord returns, the Lord's going to find them indulging in the corrupt and polluted things of this world, the filth of this place. They haven't arisen and departed from it. They're not cleansing themselves through the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And on the flip side of that is us having the everything we need to be able to cleanse ourselves. We need to be doing that continuously. It's not like the Christian church where you just get to dip this in water and you're saved. We're saved by our works, our faith in our works. So we got to be working continuously. It's a never ending. Well, the process won't end until Yahweh Shai returns and redeems us. Until then, man, we got to keep the fire of faith burning strong within. Baruch 4:28. For as it was for your mind to go astray from Yahweh, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. So I brought this one to go with that for a just man falls 7 times. Because like I was saying, man, we gonna stray away from time to time. But it's the spirit of Yahweh Bashmiel Shai that returns us back to it. The things of the world might overwhelm us. But we get a grip on ourselves and return to Yahweh Bashmiel Shai. And we'll seek him 10 times more. So, what you've been, only what you've been lacking and, bucking Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So it's up to you to tighten yourself up, seeking him 10 times more. You can't, look at the Lord's not a respecter of persons. He's a God of what have you done for me lately. Cause like people in these churches, they feel like, I done played the piano for 40 years. My work is complete. No, you still here. There's still more work to do, man. Then the people's minds going astray. They already not serving the Lord sincerely, but their doctrine has them in the mindset of the Lord sets them as they are. Nah, man, we're to diligently make our call in the election sure. Every day we on this earth, man, we need to be doing something for the Lord. And again, the Lord made these corrupt bodies that we're in, so we're going to go astray from time to time. But the Lord knew that, which is why he gave us a way back to him through Yahweh Shai. Ultimately, because we couldn't keep the first covenant, the law of Moses, accordingly. So he made it spiritual through Yahweh Shai and gave us a promise of a new covenant, new bodies, with the law in our inward parts. But we're not in those new bodies, so we still got to govern this flesh. And our minds are going to go astray from Yahweh Shai from time to time. We got to keep ourselves on track, on that path of righteousness. Because the more off track you get, the more lost you become. And eventually you're going to lose sight of the light. You're going to be lost in the world, back in the darkness. And that's what putting off the word does. It is you're distracted. You're not focused on Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And so we catch ourselves not focused on the Lord, catch ourselves not moving according to his spirit. We're to correct ourselves. 2 Timothy 2:4. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. So we're in a spiritual battlefield. So we fighting the fight of faith. We're not fighting Iran. We're not fighting Russia. We not fighting, we not doing, our fight is spiritual, man. We cast down the strongholds and imaginations on the minds of our people and also ourselves. But we can't get caught up with the affairs of this life, because that steals focus from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And as soldiers, we're to please our commander, our general, Yahweh Shai. And we please him by keeping the law, statutes, commandments to the best of our abilities, and just partaking in the work in general. Let's keep it simple. But, continuing in the work, walking that path of righteousness that he paid for us. We're not pleasing the Lord putting off the work, man. That's showing what we rather do. I'd rather be in the world than spend time with the Lord. And as men, us being wise unto Yahweh Shai, we should want to do, please him as we want our woman to please us. You want your woman to do this, that, and the third. Well, Yahweh Shai expects us to do this, that, and the third. If we want him to give a good report to Yahweh on our behalf. So, but we can't get caught up in the things of this world, and we will from time to time. But we have a spiritual detangler through the Spirit, through the word of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And we're to wash ourselves with the word of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. That's how we get clean and stay clean. Because the more focused we are in the world, the less room there is for temptation to creep in and pull us away from the Lord. That's why the scripture said, let thine eye be single. We have to be singularly focused on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And we do have worldly affairs that we have to tend to, but that's secondary to this work. Don't put off the Lord's work. Oh, I'll do it later on tonight. I'll do it later on, whenever, tomorrow. No, that's not promised to you. The only thing promised to us is the hope of salvation. The hope of salvation. The scripture says the elect shall scarcely be saved. And again, that's why we're to diligently make our calling and election sure. John 15:1. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch of me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. So, us putting off, that's like us not bearing fruit, Our harvest being hindered. Our works being tampered with, so to speak. I won't say tamper. I'm trying to find a good word for it. But we're not being as fruitful as we can be, prosperous in the spirit as we can be. And the more we put off, neglect the spirit in the work, the Lord will just take it from you, lead you right back in the world. It's a dangerous game to play putting off. We want the Lord to purge us, that we may bring forth more fruit. We want the Lord to, trim the flesh, the ways of the flesh from us and add to the spirit that's within us. That's what we want. Because Yahweh is the farmer, Yahweh Shai is the vine, and we're the branches. The Lord building a perfect plant. He, Yahweh's growing that garden. Yahweh Shai being that plant. And for us to be of Yahweh Shai, we have to bear forth fruit. We're saved by our faith in our works. And faith without works is dead, being alone. There's people out here claiming to have faith in the Lord, but they don't have the works to show forth that faith. But us having the faith and the works, that's where our hope for salvation comes from. Because we're seeking the increase in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, not this world. We don't want the things of this world, man. We gave all that up when we joined this truth. We chose to follow Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So just one more time, man, we can't put off the word. And if you catch yourself doing so, just tighten up. Y'all right, that's all this lesson was edifying. And until the next time, I'm going to say shalom.